In this morning's Health Watch, whether you're a gridiron great or a weekend warrior, sports, as you know, can really take a toll on our bodies, especially as we age. So this morning, we want to help minimize that pain. We're taking a page from the pros playbook to manage your aches and pains. Joining us is team physician for the Miami Dolphins, Dr. George Caldwell, along with our own Dr. Jennifer Ashton, to help us with all of these aches and pains and avoiding them. Most importantly, great to have you both here. Dr. Caldwell, you look at some of these players and how, not just how grueling the average football season is, but for folks like Peyton Manning, 10 seasons looking at Dan Marino from the Dolphins, 17 seasons there. How do you keep these guys in top physical shape to be able to endure that game after game and year after year?
It's a long season, and the real key to it's preparation. So at the end of the season is a period of rest to recover from injuries, and then begin a program of building both strength and aerobic capacity. And then finally adjusting to some of the players' needs, either their specialty needs or some injuries that they may have, and working through it. And then during the season, maintaining that. It's a very long season.
I would imagine. And you mentioned those injuries too. What are some of the most common injuries that you see as the team doctor?
Some of the most common joint injuries involve the shoulder, the knee, and the back, on top of the typical muscle strains.
And those are some of the ones that a lot of people see. A knee, a lot of people have issues with their shoulders. Jen, so when people are seeing these issues as the quote-unquote weekend warrior, how do you know when it's a little pain, I haven't worked out in a week, or something more serious?
Well, obviously, the weekend warrior, the average person at home, doesn't have the luxury of their own personal physician around 24/7. It would be nice if they did. But usually what I say is consider the mechanism of injury. So how did the injury happen? If it happened at high speed or high force, then you want to see someone sooner rather than later. If you just think it's a little more than your average soreness and it goes on for a week, 2 weeks, that's probably the time that you want to then talk to someone.
And they have, as you mentioned, we don't all have our own team doctors, unfortunately. But you mentioned this, this is really a year-long process, so it's not just the season, but there's plenty that happens in the off-season.
Yeah.
For people, though, who, our entire lives is the off-season with a little bit here and there.
That's right.
How do you keep yourself in tip-top shape?
Well, as George said, the key really is preparation. And for the person who's just exercising for fun or for sport on the weekends or a little more often, you want to make sure your flexibility is good as we age. You want to make sure your strength is good. And you want to make sure that when you go out and do something, you're not pushing yourself beyond what your normal day-to-day or week-to-week is. Because again, prevention is the best way to prevent an injury. And then once it happens, then you really want to do the rest, the ice, and let your body recover, especially as we age. That's really important.
What is, I imagine people meet you and they hear what you, they say, oh, you're the guy who keeps the Dolphins in shape. What is the number one question that you get from people?
Can you take a look at my body part, please?
Can you check out my knee? So they really asked, you ever give them the advice?
It's hard to go on family picnics without getting a line of people.
I bet it is. That and requests for tickets, I'm sure.
Yes.
Dr. George Caldwell, Jennifer Ashton, always great to have you with us, of course. And good to have you here with us this morning. Thanks for sharing your city with us.